Okay, welcome to Germany Turn 1. Before we get started, there are just a couple of rules clarifications that my opponent and I went over just before we started the game. We added a couple of wrinkles to some of the house rules. The pillbox rule, they were meant to be for offshore, like to protect against amphibious assaults and stuff, but what we're going to do is we're going to allow the pillboxes to defend against land forces, but only one pillbox in an area is effective against land forces. So if you have 2 or 3 pillboxes, only one of them defends against land forces. The other thing that we decided to do is regarding the railroads and their connection to the factories and military bases and stuff. If a factory has any bomb damage of any kind, it reduces its railroad capacity by 1. So an industrial complex's railroad capacity goes down to the railroad capacity of a major factory. A major factory goes to a miner goes to a military base. A military base, if there's any damage, can't use railroads at all. We also we also clarified strap bombers as air transports. If moving during non-combat, a maximum of 2 units can be air transported unless the strat bomber is going from airbase to airbase, in which case the number of troops moved by strat bombers is unlimited. So you can use a strat bomber as a transport anywhere, but you're limited in terms of the number of troops you can move unless you're going from airbase to airbase. So that's the little wrinkle that we had there. So I think we're ready to start turn 1. And so Germany has purchased, with its 30 IPCs, has purchased an aircraft carrier and 2 transports. So that's 16, 7, and 7. That should add up to 30. And there are several battles that they're declaring. There's going to be 3 sea battles and 4 land battles. So here's what they are. The sea battles. The submarine from 117 is going to attack the Canadian naval contingent in Sea Zone 106 off the coast of the Maritimes. There is going to be an attack on Sea Zone 111 by the sub from Sea Zone 124, the sub from Sea Zone 118, the fighter from Norway, the tactical bomber, and the 2 strategic bombers from Germany. Are going to be attacking that naval contingent there. And then in Sea Zone 110, off the just in the English Channel there, is being attacked by the sub from 108, the sub from 103, and 3 TACs and 2 fighters from Western Germany and a fighter from Holland, Belgium. So those are the naval battles. The land battles are as follows. 1 tank, 1 infantry, 1 artillery from Holland, Belgium are going to be attacking Normandy, Bordeaux. 1 tank from Greater Southern Germany and 2 mechanized infantry from Western Germany are going to be attacking southern France. And then France is being attacked with 3 infantry, 1 artillery, and 2 tanks from Holland, Belgium. 3 infantry, 1 artillery, 2 mechanized infantry from Western Germany, and 2 tanks from Greater Southern Germany. The 4th land attack is into Yugoslavia, and the Germans are coming in with 6 infantry and 2 artillery from Greater Southern Germany, and 1 infantry and 1 tank from Romania, and then also the tactical bomber from Poland and the fighter from Slovakia, Hungary. So we will set up these battles. We'll do the naval battles first, and then the land battles, and start rolling some dice. Okay, this is the first naval battle of the game. This is Sea Zone 106. The German submarine U-81 is attacking the Canadian destroyer, the HMCS Haida, and the Canadian transport, the HMCS Prince David. The Germans start this game with super submarines, so they're attacking at 3 rather than 2. So here we go. That's a miss. That's also a miss. That's a hit. That's a miss. So the destroyer is destroyed and the undefended transport is auto-killed. So Germany wins this battle and does not lose its submarine. It's the battle for Sea Zone 111. The two German submarines U-74 and U-79, along with a fighter, a tactical bomber, and two strategic bombers, are attacking the British naval contingent off the coast of Scotland. And they are attacking the HMS Eclipse destroyer, the HMS Norfolk cruiser, and the HMS Royal Oak battleship. We are using the BBR pairing of the battleship and the cruiser on defense. So that will allow the cruiser to defend at 4. So, the submarines don't get any special first strike here because there is a destroyer in the water. So there are 2 subs at 3 because these are super subs. A fighter at 3, 2 bombers at 4, and a tactical bomber at 4. So here's the first attack roll. We get 3 hits. So what that's going to mean is this guy's dead, this guy's dead, and this guy's going to get damaged and have to roll at 2 next turn. But we do get a defense. We have a 2 and 2 4s. And that's 1 hit. So one of the submarines will be sunk. So this is going to go over here with the damage. And this guy... Actually, you know what? Just to make it better for my opponent, I'm going to lose the battleship. I'm going to take 2 hits on the battleship and keep the cruiser, because the cruiser will defend at a 3 if it's still alive. So I think that's probably the better move for my opponent. So I'm going to do that for him. We're using out-of-box rules for the bombers, so it's not BBR rules, so they do get to continue in the attack. And I have a submarine, so this might be moot anyway, the 3 versus the 2, but we'll see how that works. So the submarine's going to attack the cruiser, and it hits. So the cruiser is killed without a defense anyway, so that debate I was having with myself was somewhat moot. So the Germans did very well in this battle. They only lost 1 submarine at the cost of 3 major ships for the British. So that was a very, very good battle for the Germans. It's the battle for Sea Zone 110. The German submarines U-69 and U-76, along with 3 fighters and 3 tactical bombers, are going to be attacking the French cruiser Suffren, the British cruiser Devonshire, I think Devonshire, yeah, and the British battleship, I think it's Centurion? Centurion. Okay, so there is no destroyer in the sea zone, so the submarines are going to get first strike at 3 because they're super submarines. 1 hit, so we'll lose the French destroyer, or French cruiser, sorry. Okay, so we need 3 hits of these 6 dice. So got 1 hit. Oh, that's disappointing. Okay, I think what we'll do is damage the battleship and take it down to a 2, and then this guy will defend at 3. But for this round, they both get to defend at 4. No hits. Oh, that's disappointing. Okay, so we have a 3 and a 2. Now that's extraordinarily lucky for the Germans. So they're going to get 2 shots with their submarines. Could end the battle with no casualties right here. Ended the battle with no casualties. That was extraordinarily unlucky for the Allies, and extremely lucky for the Axis. Okay, so Germany takes the sea zone with no casualties whatsoever. It's the battle for Normandy, Bordeaux. German infantry and artillery combo, 2 twos, plus a German heavy tank. They have the tanks that attack at 4, are going up against a French infantry and a French artillery. And only 1 hit to start. Okay. So obviously the infantry is dead. The French roll defense and have hit 1, so the German infantry is killed. So 1 artillery and 1 tank. Hit. So here's the French artillery response. Hit. So solid defense from the French. The Germans do take the territory, but it costs them an infantry and an artillery to do so. This is the battle for southern France, 2 mechanized infantry and a heavy tank coming in against an infantry and an artillery. Based on the last battle, I gotta admit I'm a little worried about this. I'm hoping one of the mechs gets a hit. 1 hit from the tank, no hits from the mechs. So infantry is dead. 1 hit, so one of the mechanized is dead. So we will continue the battle. Killed. Okay, so the Germans are going to take the territory. And the French successfully wipe out the ground forces. So in both of those attacks, Germany does take the territory, but is left with only a tank. Okay, this is the battle for Yugoslavia. Now the plan right off the bat is we're going to do 1 poke at these guys, and then if we don't destroy all of them, we're going to retreat. The idea is to leave them for Italy. So it's 5 1s for the infantry that's not supported by an artillery. We have 2 artillery and 2 infantry supported, so 4 2s, a 3 for the fighter, a 4 for the tactical bomber, and a 4 for the heavy tank. So we're looking for less than 5 hits here. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Perfect. That's the perfect attack. So these guys will have 1 guy left. They do, however, get to defend. So we'll roll the defense dice here. And they got 1 hit. So they will lose 1 infantry, and they will retreat into Romania. This is that cool slingshot move to get the guys from Greater Southern Germany into Romania. So the territory is not taken, but there's only 1 infantry left in it, and all the German forces are going to retreat into Romania. Okay, this is the big one. This is the attack on the capital, Paris, France. I'm a little worried about this because, again, with the Germans, you're always worried that you're spreading yourself a little bit too thin and that you're not leaving enough for the things that you really, really need to do. But we'll see how this goes. So I have 6 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 mechanized infantry, and 4 heavy tanks versus an anti-aircraft gun that can't shoot, but it can obviously be taken as a casualty. 6 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 tanks, and 1 fighter. So let's see how we do. This might be very costly for Germany. 6 1s, 4 2s, and 4 3s. That looks not bad. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 6. So that is the anti-aircraft gun and 5 of the 6 infantry killed right off the bat. So that's not a bad start. France and England together are going to get 6 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 tanks, and 1 fighter. 4. That's pretty good. So the Germans are going to lose 4 infantry. The nice thing about this attack, though, is that the Germans always lose low pieces, and the French are losing slightly more important pieces, right? The Germans are always losing 1s. So we have 2 1s. Well, we'll take all the white dice out except for 2. So 4. Okay. All right. Second round of the attack. 4 hits. So that's all of this and the English tank. Okay, so 3 2s, 2 3s, and a 4. No hits. Oh, that was extraordinarily lucky for Germany. And extraordinarily unlucky for my opponent. Sensing that that's one he's probably going to want back. 1 2 hits, so that should finish them off. That's all of them. So they do still get to roll their defense. And 2 hits. So the infantry are killed, but all of the attacking pieces survive, and France is taken, and Germany gets France's money. Okay, this is German non-combat. I kind of have already screwed up in this game because what we do when we play online here like this is we commit to all our moves in emails prior to me starting to film these, and I screwed up. I made some stupid mistakes in my non-combat, and forgot to do some things and landed some planes in the wrong places, but I have to commit to what I said I was going to do. So this is what I said I was going to do. Okay. This plane in the C-Zone 111 attack only has 1 movement left. It's going to land in C-Zone 112 on the new aircraft carrier. One of the fighters from the C-Zone 110 attack is going to land on the new aircraft carrier as well. All of the other planes in the 111 and 110 attacks have enough movement to make it back to Western Germany, and that's where they're going to go. The 2 planes from Yugoslavia, my intention was to land them in southern Italy and protect against the attack there, but I stupidly in my moves said all other planes land in Western Germany, and because these guys can land in Western Germany, then I have to land them there because I'm an idiot, basically. Okay, so the other non-combat moves, all the naval elements all the German naval elements in sea zones 113 and 114. So there's a transport and a cruiser in 114, and a destroyer and a battleship in 113 are going to end up in 112 to supplement the new navy that's coming onto the board. 7 infantry and 3 artillery from Germany are going to move into Western Germany, and 1 anti-aircraft from Western Germany is going to move into Germany. 1 anti-aircraft from Germany is going to move into Poland. 1 anti-aircraft from Germany is going to move into Slovakia, Hungary. And 4 infantry from Germany are going to take advantage of the major factory, or the industrial complex's rail capability, and the 4 infantry there are going to rail into Romania. Okay. So we'll, I think that's all the movement. So we'll tidy this up, and we'll come back in a second with placement and money. Okay, we're going to do the placement of new units for Germany. Germany has 2 new transports to put on the board. They're both going in C-Zone 112. And their new carrier, the Prinz Eugen, is also going in C-Zone 112, and the 2 planes, the fighter and the attack bomber, are going to land on that. In terms of income, Germany gets to collect 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 IPCs from France. All 3 of those are from France. So, if we go to the chart here, we go from 30 to 39, and France goes down from 19 to 10, although they're not collecting any income right now anyway. Okay, so in terms of money, Germany gets to collect... Oops. Sorry, just fixing something here. Germany gets to collect 39 IPCs, the 19 IPCs from the French Treasury, They get a 5 IPC bonus for not being at war with Russia, and they get a 5 IPC bonus for controlling Denmark and Norway while Sweden remains neutral. But there is a convoy. Because the Germans took southern France, the two French ships, the destroyer and the cruiser in Sea Zone 93, can convoy southern France for up to 3. Now, we're not using the BBR rules of the minimum 1, so it is 2 dice. 1, 2, or 3 is convoy damage, 4, 5, or 6 is no damage. So I will roll that right here. No damage, so no convoy damage at all. And so that was extraordinarily lucky for the Germans there as well. So they're going to collect 39 plus 19 plus 10 is 58, 68 IPCs to start the next round. Again, as I said, I did make a few errors in this round. I had the opportunity, for example, to walk in and take Finland, and I had the opportunity, for example, to walk in and take Bulgaria, but I did not specify that I was doing those things during non-combat, so I will have to leave them for the next turn. I think they're pretty safe right now. I don't think there's any allies that can take any of those territories, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so in terms of disposition of forces, let's summarize all of the German pieces on the board right now. First of all, in Sea Zone 106, there is a German submarine convoying Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. In Sea Zone 110, there are 2 German submarines. In Sea Zone 111, there is a single German submarine, so they're 1 short of having the 5 submarines on the board. In Sea Zone 112, there is a fairly substantial German navy consisting of 3 transports, a battleship, a cruiser, a destroyer, and a fully loaded carrier with a fighter and a tactical bomber. In Norway, there are 3 German infantry. In Denmark, there are 2 German infantry. In Normandy, Bordeaux, there is a German tank, and remember that capturing that territory turned that minor factory into a military base. In southern France, there's a tank, and once again, the minor factory there was turned into a military base, downgraded. In France, there are 4 German tanks, 2 mechanized infantry, and 2 artillery, and the industrial complex there was downgraded to a major factory. In Western Germany, there's a substantial air force. There are 2 strategic bombers, 4 fighters, and 4 tactical bombers. Also in Western Germany, ground forces, 3 artillery, 2 anti-aircraft artillery, and 7 infantry. In Germany proper, in the capital, there are only 2 anti-aircraft artillery. In Poland, there are 3 infantry, 1 anti-aircraft and 1 tank. In Slovakia, Hungary, there are 2 infantry, 1 anti-aircraft and 1 tank. And in Romania, there's a fairly substantial force building there. There's 1 tank, 2 artillery, and 11 infantry in Romania. Okay, so that is the disposition of forces. The USSR is up next, and that's Mr. And we'll see what he has planned. Obviously, he can't declare war on the Germans, but he could declare war on the Japanese, so we'll see what he does. I suspect it will be a lot of non-combat, but we'll see in the next video.